Right, 1998, good luck. So we've not played before, we have no head-to-head score. 540 games my opponents are very similar to myself. Let's play traditional Reti. I've just gone through 600. 606. Okay, against this you normally do this, and this you normally do this, just as a broad guide. Plays an early bishop g4. Let's just develop our bishop and see if he takes. Okay, now he's done that, I'm going to play h3 and see what he does with his bishop. He could drop the bishop all the way back, then he's got h3 the target, but he does actually trade there. Okay, I'm just going to develop this way in castle now instead of going the traditional Reti route. So we'll castle. Now we're probably going to need a move like d4, aren't we? Otherwise we've got a backward pawn. But the knight can't really jump to f3, or not easily, so the knight's probably going to come to c3. Okay, how do we do this? Let's bring the knight up. Just because we're not likely to go to f3 this game. We could push a pawn, but we're not likely to. Okay, let's bring a rook across so the bishop's got a potential option to retreat. Just gives my bishop space to move. Then maybe the knight can come to g3. No, because we've not got anywhere forward to really go to. We're still guarding our pawn. So I need 3 moves to pop the knight on g3. And then it's a case of what do we do this pawn. We could go up d4. Restricts our bishop though, but we could do. Let's just see what black does. I'm not sure what black's going to be playing here. There's lots of options, I guess. d4, c5, e5. I think my plan is basically fairly simple because there's not too much I can do. So I'm just looking at bishop back and bringing the knight across the board and then pushing the pawn up 1 or 2. And trying to basically leave these intact. But I've got a pawn guarding a pawn should my opponent choose to capture and open the file. Now he comes forward. That kind of might be to induce me to push on something like this, and then it leaves the pawn a little bit freer, doesn't it? But a3 seems logical. Bishop back still seems logical to me though. Yeah, I'm going to drop the bishop back. I don't mind if you give up the bishop and take, then we've got 2 bishops against 2 knights, although oddly enough I'm one of the players I actually quite like knights myself, whereas most players tend to prefer the bishops. But now I've got the option to still potentially switch the knight. If you go here, I'm probably going to take with a pawn rather than the bishop. I'm just making room so the knight's got a square to jump to. But bishop here does tempt pawn forward. But I say my opponent might actually want me to do that so they can try and protect a pawn at some point further down the line, which could be very useful for black. Not easy to come up with a plan. I'm actually looking at again at the traditional Reti concept is to put your bishop on g2 like this. I'm just wondering whether that might actually be feasible. There's no light squared bishop to attack my pawn. It just means I won't want to jump the knight across, obviously, if I'm going to put a pawn there. But that could be feasible and put the bishop on this diagonal. So we'll just mull that one over. Obviously, it depends what black does here. Okay, down to 6 minutes now, but that's plenty of time for a 2000 strength player, of course. Now, he really is tempting me here, isn't he? So this, if you trade, I'm fine. My queen still guards, but you might be really, really wanting me to push on. But if you don't trade now, here... Oh, you might want to go here, actually, because there's a target. There's actually a target. I might have gone wrong here. I've given him a natural target, haven't I? I've got queen up, so I'm basically fine. So I could do this and induce this. Queen up and we're threatening a move like knight across. D4 might be a good time now, but we might get a chance to move and take this knight. Bishop, though, might be misplaced here, actually, so I'm going to shift the bishop back. I'm going to move the bishop back, just so I've got the concept to guard here. I'm going to probably put the bishop here and go on the more attacking diagonal. Just say I made a mistake dropping back there because of this concept that I just missed. So we're making room so the rook can come here. The knight can still jump across. I've got to be careful now, though. If you take, there is this idea. So I'm actually going to put the rook back, I think. I've got queen up, though, but it might walk into this. But then we've got this move. But if you take now and I go with the pawn, my bishop's loose, so I have to go with my bishop. So I'm just, actually, I could put the rook back. So I'll pre-move in case takes, and I'll take with the bishop. Because obviously I can't now capture back with a b pawn because my bishop on b2 would fall. But we do have a potential for knight across, and we can trade the knight for the bishop, depending on obviously what my opponent does here. Actually, let's not pre-move. We've got 3 minutes, so no need to pre-move. But yeah, I just overlooked that concept when the bishop came down. But sometimes you've just got to say, yeah, I made a mistake with a move, so let's try and correct it and put the piece on a better square. Okay, so he is tempting us to do this. And it's probably very good for me, probably. I'm going to just play it relatively quickly so I don't burn my time and I can save it for later in the game. But we're going to trade the knight for bishop, and we'll drop back this way, I think, and try and argue that the bishops are going to be good this side. So I don't think I've got anything better, though. But let's just drop the bishop back here and see if he pushes on. He might do. It's a little bit committal, though, isn't it? So back, down. Let's come back. If he comes here, I might have to push on, just so my bishop doesn't risk getting trapped, but we could try and kick the knight as well. So d4 now, I think, yeah, we'll have to go here, I think. We could try and bring the bishop up, but I don't think we should. So what about b4 first? If you ignore it, take. Seems alright, but even if you retreat the knight back, I'm not going to take there anyway, am I? So we'll just go here for now. But now the bishop's going to have to come to f3, so we're going to have to push f4 at some point. So my bishops are getting rather restricted here. So e5 does come very quickly. So I'm going to try and branch out this side and push the pawns forward and give myself some space. Okay, he's gone back, so I'm going to play a bishop down. If he comes in, I've got the option to take. And I might well do that. Otherwise, I might even sack a pawn and just push it so that the bishop's got somewhere to go further down the line. Oh, he has come in. Okay, we need to take, I think, here then. So take, and queen up. You can still guard your pawn, but it breaks these up a little, doesn't it? I'm going to take, and I'm going to go c5, just so black can't do c5, with an idea bishop on this diagonal at some point, and then queen up, and then one of the rooks across. That sort of concept, and just hope he's not blowing my defences open. If he is, he is. Okay, so bishop here to attack the knight looks sensible there. He hits my pawn. So here, if he takes queen up, we hit the knight and the pawn. The knight can go back to where it is now. Bishop takes, queen takes, you take this pawn as well. I don't like that. So I guess we go here. We probably see pawn forward coming, and I might have to play rook across. Although I can't, can I? No, I'll play queen up. And if pawn takes, my rooks guard each other. Oh, well, that pushes me up. I don't really have any choice there, so I'll play king across if he checks. I could go on the dark square as well, I guess, assuming if he checks, but he's not really going anywhere, I don't think, if he does that. I was expecting pawn forward. Otherwise, I'm going to try and challenge this open file. Oh, that's what he's done. He's gone there. I just missed that as well, didn't I? So I have to come back. So has he got a nice tactic? Because he's got a knight check to win the queen. But I have to do it, don't I? I've got no other move. Yeah, this is quite advanced. He's found a really, really strong tactic here. Because when the rook moves anywhere, he can come in. But if he takes this pawn, I can take back with the rook and guard. But he's got here, if he takes the bishop here, equally I can take and guard, but I can't shift the knight. I'm going to have to sack or find a way to get out of the way completely. So bishop up. What on earth am I going to do with this? This is really strong what he's found here, isn't it? Rook across, he just plays rook over. Yeah, I think I'm just not very good here, putting it mildly. If I come back, I'd be really pleased if he took, so I don't think he'd take. So what does he do? Something like this. But I have to come back, don't I? I've got to try. I don't think I've got anything here. I think I've just been completely outplayed here. This feels... He's found a really, really good concept. Really good concept. Like I say, I don't think he'll take here, but we'll just see if he does. But that knight is so strong there. It doesn't matter where the rook moves to. You're then threatening a check. Maybe I have to leave the bishop here. But then, how do I get my rooks into play? Yeah, he's just ignored it. So he's found that. So if I take, you take with a check. There's nothing to be done, is there? Because my queen can't go anywhere else. Literally nowhere else to run to. And he's got rook down as well. What the heck? So here, if he plays rook down, though, I've got queen here, right? Let's go here to try and give the rook a square. Or the queen a square, but I've got nothing. But rook down, I think I go here. Takes, takes. Knight check, the bishop covers. Rook takes. I think I take back. Boy, this is a heck of a concept he's come up with. It really is. Never come across this in a previous game that I can recall anything like this one. This is so strong, wow. But you can see the basic idea. Yeah, he's gone forward. Now, I think I have to play queen here. Does it matter if I go here, here, or here? Or indeed here? If I take, he's got rook takes up, and then he just takes my bishop, so we can't play that. So here, can he just ignore it and play down? If he does that and I take, and knight takes, I think I'm fine. I think I have to go here because I'm threatening to capture the rook. Now if he takes, it's a check, so I'm going to take back with the king. And then he doesn't have rook down, at least not in one move, but he maybe has queen across. Yeah, he might have a move like queen across here and we're just stuffed, aren't we? Can I play a move like bishop up and sack the bishop? Oh, he takes, so here. Again, if he takes here, I'll go with the rook and leave the queen where she is. But now rook down is covered by the bishop, knight down is covered by the bishop. So queen across I'm expecting. I'm not sure if it matters which square you're on, but there's not many more options. And then I can't even particularly run away, can I? Rook across threatening to capture might be a concept, it might be, or rook up. Wow, can I survive on the clock? Because like I said, it's such a good concept my opponent's come up with here. So can we tuck our king away somewhere that's actually safe? Can we do something like this and leave the pawns intact? But you can imagine if you get the queen here and we trade off, I'm completely bogged down there and I can't put the rook in a light square. That's what he's gone for. So if we move the queen away, it's just simply checkmate, so that's not very good. If we push the pawn up, you're going to take here, so that's not very good. If we take the pawn, it's checkmate, that's not very good. Bishop up here allows you to come crashing in here, so that's not very good. So that means all the options are not very good. That's not very good, is it? Rook across if you play knight takes and I take, I'm surviving. So rook across, takes, 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 and I cover the mate threat. I might have to do that because of the clock. Now, if he plays a move like queen down, I'd be very happy to trade because my king's safe there. So I might be missing something, but I think I have to go here and try and trade off here. I don't think I've got any real option. Queen is covered here. He could go to a2. And then I think I'm okay to trade. Yeah, he supported his pawn. So I think if we take now, idea being to try and hold and then run the king. But I think I have to take. I think I had to do that. And then put the queen back if I can. Oh, he's offered the trade of queens. So can I survive if I do that then? I do have a pawn push with bishop up. Takes, takes. Bishop here. And run my king out. I think I can play that. I'm trying to run my king out so I'm not trapped in. And then move the bishop afterwards. Something like that. And stop his rook infiltrating. That's what I'm trying to do. Because he's down to 30 seconds. Okay, I've got 3 minutes. I need to use my time. Now, do I want to push forward here as an idea? They're covered. It gives me a square, doesn't it? Because he has to move pretty much instantly now. Oh, he's walked into a pin. What the heck? He's walked into a pin. So I don't have to take unless his king moves away. So let's just step forward because he might be able to blow this open. So his king needs to move away before I have to take. Yeah, he's launched forward, so we might be better just winning a pawn here and letting him keep the rook. We might actually be better winning the pawn than the rook here. If I take and he takes here, I'm completely bogged down. I've got no options, have I? Now, I'm solid this side, but I'm completely bogged down. So if he pushes here, take, take, and I push on, I think I am actually fine, but I've got no way to release my king. And my opponent has got moves. Yeah, I think I'm better off going here, letting him run. And then trying to push. I think this is a better concept for me. I might be proven wrong, but I've got passed pawns now. Okay. It must be right to take, so he's got one less pawn. And I'll give him a distraction with our own. Now, can I go here straight away? Here? No, I'll go here first. But now I can check. So now I think we're winning. So I think we go here, we hit the pawn and the rook. Oh, that's a check. And that's actually mate next move. Wow, we've done really well to win that one. He came up with such a good concept, didn't he? If he'd have found it just that little bit quicker, we're in real trouble there. Let's see what the engine says about that one. So we'll just put that through. Wow, 50 moves we've played for that game. 50 moves. Yeah, we're completely losing, aren't we? We've been completely outplayed there. He came up with such a good concept. Oh, we blundered early on as well. We've actually blundered in the opening. So what did I do? Knight to c3 is actually a blunder. I should have played the f4 earlier. So knight to c3 is actually an opening blunder. And my opponent has blundered back just because they didn't punish it by pushing the pawn on. I was assuming I could have just jumped across. But, oh, I'm getting my bishop trapped. I've just seen it. You're just trapping the bishop, winning a piece. d4, it doesn't matter where the knight goes, you just push on again and you trap the piece. So I've made an early blunder there. That's something I must learn for the future. So other than that, we're level here, and then we must have blundered again. We have with the move a3. And I should have played queen to d2 straight away. And otherwise, it's just -1. So black is better. And then with a3, black is in much better here. Yeah, you could feel it was a risky position for us, wasn't it? So Queen back was correct, but then queen h4. And you're really piling the pressure on. So bishop back. The engine is saying I should play a4 here. And now it's saying I should play. This is why sometimes if you let the engines think, they sometimes change their mind. So there might be a number of good lines. So it's changing. And what's it saying? 3.5 for black. So now it's going up. If you just let it think, you'll see that green bar progressing there. It's now +4 for black. Yeah, black should just double the rooks up here, which they do. And now, again, it's changing its mind. King h2 or b5, it's saying. But I played a4 there. Queen h4 apparently is still very strong here. There must be an idea for sort of like rook takes, and there's a check. King up takes, and then you're threatening checkmate as well. Something like that. Yeah, I'm completely lost, aren't I, with correct player. Then here, we've somehow survived. And where does it come level? So it's still about the same eval here. So that's apparently a mistake there. I should have gone straight here as well, but then I couldn't get my king out. I just played it like this to get my king out. And now it's coming back close to level. And then that's the mistake, getting the rook pinned. That's the blunder. And suddenly we're better for the rest of the game, and we've managed to play it very well. So we're rather lucky to win that one, aren't we? A lot of inaccuracies there. Still 87% accuracy overall. My opponent 81, and my centre pawn loss is 35. My average is 32, so it's broadly in line with what I do. But you can see if my opponent found the queen h4 concept, there was some sort of forced win there somewhere, or that's what it looked like. So we got a bit of luck to win that one.